fans, welcome to another episode of E-Ticket Insight. Look where we are back at Universal Studios Hollywood, where it is significantly more festive than the last time we were here. They very much so have decked City Walk out in the Christmas decor, but no sign of the actual City Walk Christmas tree coming up yet. But look at this as well. Boom! Santa hat, King Kong. You know it's the holidays when you put a Santa hat on literally everything. Yes. Now we're gonna head into the park, check out the latest construction on Secret Life of Pets. Also look at Grinchmas, more Christmas decor, and of course, Super Nintendo World goodness. So, let's head on in. And before we start this construction update, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button right there in the middle. Of course, like the video and follow me on social media if you want to, at E-Ticket Insight on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. And here we are with the first major development. And that is, of course, construction walls for NBC Sports Grille and Brew. Of course, circles all the way around. All Tony Roma signage has been removed as they prepare this location for its reopening, or for the grand opening of NBC Sports Grille and Brew in 2020. Should be pretty nice. And down the main strip of City Walk, it's certainly looking a lot more festive. And over at the Universal Studios store, take a look. We've got our Grinchmas. This means no more Halloween Horror Nights. Halloween Horror Nights officially done. We are now in full Christmas mode. Got a lot of exciting merch. And also taking place today and actually wrapping up is the Universal Day of Giving. This is something they do every year. They actually do it twice a year, but this is more holiday oriented this time around. The other time they do it is in the summertime, where they'll give back to local charities and those less fortunate during the holiday season. It's really nice. They give them like backpacks and school supplies and shoes and toys and a lot of fun stuff that they may otherwise not really have easy access to. So it's really cool that Universal does that. I didn't know that they were doing that today until I arrived and saw people posting about it on Twitter. Otherwise I probably would have come a little earlier, but that's really cool. Now it's time to head into the park. Now inside the park we can clearly see that Christmas has taken over Universal Boulevard as well as the Animation Studio store. I don't think I've ever seen this many Christmas decorations up in this area, but it all looks extremely festive and really, really nice, like very classy. And New York Street has also gotten its Christmas decor. The taxi is covered in snow. There's a little snowman right over there. Overall, the park is looking super festive. And SpongeBob and Patrick are hanging out over there. At Universal Plaza, they are getting ready for Grinchmas, and we can get our first glimpse of that new tree. It is a lot more cartoony than the old one, but it does retain the S shape. I'm starting to think it's possibly the same structure, like the base structure, but they of course gave it a new skin. It's very cartoony though. I really like it. I can't wait to see how it looks all lit, which is I think what everyone's waiting for. But it should look really nice, as it already does. And from Paris Street we get another good view at the Grinchmas setup and that huge Grinchmas tree. The more I see it, the more it's actually starting to really grow on me. The Walking Dead's returned to daily operation, but that's not the biggest development in this area. This is, and not just this, the fact that the whole street is now completely open, giving us what is essentially the best look at this facade yet. And we can walk right up to it. Now I'm thinking that this is only open temporarily through the holidays. Then once Christmas comes, I'm gonna guess that they're gonna block off the street and put scaffolding up around Parisian Plaza to convert it into Pets Place. But the facade looks awesome. Let me see if I can stand back a little bit. Now, one of the most noticeable things is that every window has a space behind it. Meaning that they could very easily put things behind there like screens or prop. It's not just gonna be, you know, a painted window or painted flat. There's definitely depth. So they could do a lot of really interesting animated things that could bring a lot of life to this area. But another major thing that I've noticed is right here. Let's see if I can brighten this up just a bit. This space right here is accessible to workers, to people. Because inside there, earlier today, I could clearly see people walking back and forth in there. I'm guessing that this may just be for employees, but I think it kind of confirms the notion I had that the queue, most of the queue, and of course we know the ride is on the second level, but I guess we'll be able to walk on this second floor, and I think a majority of the queue will be up on this higher level. But it's looking really nice. And there doesn't appear to be a lot of changes over to the Despicable Me facing side of the facade. They're just doing little things here and there. Now with this area becoming Pet's Place, one has to wonder what the fate of Mulligan's is. Obviously an Irish pub doesn't really belong in a cartoon land. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. And of course the Christmas decorations are up in Super Silly Funland, as well as the remainder of the Despicable Me area. You can see the Christmas lights on every window and a door on the rooftops. And of course it wouldn't be Christmas unless they put Santa hats on things, so the minions over here have their little Santa hats on. And Christmas decorations naturally are also up on Parish Street. This is one of my favorite areas of the park to take pictures of at night because of this lighted awning. It tragically reminds me of the light tunnel in It's a Small World that they removed years ago so that people could get a better view of the Three Caballeros. Oof. But it's really beautiful at night. And over at Super Nintendo World, sorry the music is insanely loud right now, there doesn't appear to be any visible progress, any major changes since the last time we were here, at least on the Mario Kart show building. Kind of peeking, we can see that the staircase is still right there, which will take you from the top floor to the bottom floor of the queue. And if we sneak into the Transformers Extended queue, we can probably get another good look at the rest of the land and a lot of the new steel that they've been putting up. And from the lookout just behind Super Silly Funland, we can get, of course, our view of the entirety of Super Nintendo World. Now, there isn't a whole lot of steel, but there is one steel section that they added that makes things look really interesting and is starting to change what I was expecting this land to look like. And that is this steel beam right here. It's kind of smack dab in the middle of the land. And having it being so close to the middle of the land makes me wonder if we're going to get that courtyard area that we basically see in all of the Japan concept art that's been released so far, which also has a character stage right in the middle of it. How that'll integrate into the land, or if that's just something they're going to cut out entirely. The lower lot has also gotten its fair share of Christmas decor, but most notably, and most importantly, a brand new Jurassic World Christmas tree. And I gotta be honest, it's giving me life right now. I love it. And of course, this is where we get our best views of the Mushroom Kingdom vertical steel, as well as the interior of the Mario Kart show building, and there's been quite a few developments in there since our last visit. Not a whole lot of new developments from the Mushroom Kingdom, but I think as time goes on, this is going to grow a lot. And I'm really looking forward to seeing just how big this can get within such a small area. How are you guys enjoying this video gaming music? And that, of course, takes us to the interior of the Mario Kart show building, they have actually added a lot of trussing to the roof structure. A lot of wiring is now sort of dangling, especially in the queue area, which you can't see. But here you can see a lot of the steel from the roof is hanging down. This will be projectors and lighting and audio. The stuff that makes this ride immersive. They'll also use it to hang props. Curtains so you can't see backstage. This truss right up here, this was brand new. I don't believe this was in our last video. The one hanging from the roof, but that is a huge structure. That could hold projectors, it could hold anything. The more complicated it is, the more fun you know the ride is going to be. And that allows us to move on. I believe the tram stopped right here, so what do you guys think about this construction update? Feel free to leave a comment. Let me know what you think about my videos. How would you improve them? Now the tram is moving again. We can take a look at that projector truss right there. And just to the left, which will soon be in the middle of the frame, that's definitely going to be projector truss. As some of the very early leaked layouts and blueprints of the land suggests that that corner of the ride will in fact be a large screen. This back corner right here. And that takes us to one of my favorite views of the Mario Kart show building. As we move along, we can kind of see it. We're not going to get this view for that much longer. They're going to enclose this building. I'm guessing by January 2020, we're not going to be able to see anything in here. And there it is, my favorite view of Mario Kart.
Somebody does drive them.
Also, while we were on the studio tour, our tram was actually followed by one of the brand new electric trams. It looked like they were practicing the route to making sure that these trams can handle everything that the current trams can put up with regularly. Also, Colonial Street, also known as Wisteria Lane, has returned to the studio tour. It's been, a couple months since the trams have driven down this path, so it's kind of nice to have it back.
They're used in a movie called Uncle Tom's Cabin. Yeah, that's how old the street is. Ronald Reagan, former United States president and actor, worked on the street in a movie called Bedtime for Bonzo. Jimmy Stewart worked on this street in a movie called Harvey. Tom Hanks worked on this street. And Leave It to Beaver. I know it looks like you can move right in and have your newspaper delivered, but all exterior sets are built the same. They're shells, facades, and practical sets. A shell just has all the four walls and the roof. Fly right over. They ruin your sound. Your shot gets ruined. Your seat gets ruined. You either stop and reshoot, or you stop because you love what was happening so much in front of the camera. Your sound got ruined, and you redub the sound. Yeah, in the sound engineer room, days, months later, when it's coming all together. Yeah, it's a lot of work. Now you think you're starting to understand how much work television shows, movies, commercial games are the real deal. The one that was used in Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas, directed by Ron Howard. And they will all be...
In driving by the Grinch sets, it doesn't look like they're going to bring back the stage show. I don't believe they were casting for it this year. But they have brought back that mini Christmas tree just to make it a little more festive during Christmas time, since these sets are important to Grinchmas.
They're real. They're the ones that were used in the movie.
It's been about 3 years since the Wizarding World opened, but these trees are really starting to grow in. And it looks awesome. It makes it feel a lot more isolated than it actually is. It's one of those things that happens over time. I know a lot of people were concerned once they built the land. Like, oh no, there's not enough trees, they're too small, but a couple more years, this is going to feel like you're just in a completely different world. Especially with Hogwarts Castle looming over the background. It's awesome. And it's no secret that the holidays have returned to the wizarding world of Harry Potter. All of the garland is up, and it looks like they're pretty much ready to bring Christmas in the Wizarding World back when it returns on November 28th with Grinchmas. It's going to be neat to see them doing both Grinchmas and Christmas in the Wizarding World at the same time, every day as well. So they have a lot more opportunities to celebrate the holidays. And hopefully that'll alleviate some of the overcrowding and crowd flow issues that they've been having during Christmas time. But it looks fantastic. And with that, the temperature has dropped about 15 degrees. I think it's time to call this video quits. If you enjoyed it, please do me a huge favor, hit that subscribe button. If you haven't already, be sure to follow me on social media, E-Ticket Insight. And thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next video. Don't forget, Grinchmas and Christmas in the Wizarding World returns November 28th. I will see you then, and I will see you next week in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, and be sure to follow E-Ticket Insight on all social media at E-Ticket Insight.